Stop, yield, merge, share the road. They are signs and symbols that help us get around town, whether on 2 wheels or 4 or more. And now there's a new symbol called a sharrow.
Sharrows are shared lane markings. It looks like a bicycle on the bottom, and then there's a couple of what we call corporal stripes on the top, and those form the arrow that tells the cyclist which direction they should be riding in.
Shared lanes have their own purpose and are different from bike lanes.
A bike lane is a 4 to 5 foot wide dedicated pavement surface that allows bicyclists to travel along a street. A shared lane is when a motorist and a bicyclist share the lane because there isn't enough width.
Sharrow markings were approved for use nationally by the Federal Highway Administration in 2009, and they're part of Arvada's transit-oriented development plan, worked out in 2009 in anticipation of the Gold Line in Arvada.
And as we get busier and we get a transit station locally and we get more people on bicycles, we want to be thoughtful ahead of time for making these facilities seamless and safe.
Ann Tully, a cyclist herself, helped the city work out its bicycle pedestrian plan. She says shared lanes are a cost-effective interim solution to connecting trails and bike routes when there isn't yet money or space to create an actual bike lane.
We also use them on busier roadways where there are parked cars, because one of the biggest bike accidents there are is when a bicyclist, especially going downhill, encounters a motorist opening their door, and that's a bad accident. So we try to be thoughtful about those on busy streets with parked cars.
Sharrows cue bicyclists to ride with the traffic, not against it, which is a major cause of accidents, and tells them where to ride in the lane.
You want to be thoughtful because you are the smaller of the 2 objects on a bicycle, and if a car runs over you, you're going to have a significant injury. So you want to move to the right as far as possible, even if the marking's more left, unless there's an obstacle. Those are made so that if there's an obstacle, you can be oriented correctly and not weaving in and out of traffic. They need to be thoughtful about the cars, though. You don't want to back up traffic for a mile behind them, and that's also something we don't encourage folks to do.
And from a motorist perspective, there are some things to keep in mind, too.
Colorado state law requires 3 feet for passing a bicyclist safely. The sharrow markings are usually placed so that that can be accommodated.
Motorists are allowed to pass bicyclists when there is a sharrow and a double yellow line, center line down the street, but basically they have to wait for a safe gap in order to do so.
And it's okay for motorists to drive over the sharrow marking. What if a road isn't marked as a shared lane, nor as a bike lane?
Unless posted that bicyclists are prohibited from traveling along that road, cyclists are allowed to travel on any kind of roadway.
Currently, sharrows are located in only a few locations in Arvada, including West 74th Avenue.
In the case of West 74th Avenue, the north side of the road has a bike lane because there was ample width and it was along a park. On the south side of the road, the roadside was not wide enough to provide a bike lane, and the residential properties are positioned along the street. Therefore, we couldn't go in without modifying driveways and getting really into the residential properties, which would have driven up the cost of the project.
Lamar Street between 66th and 72nd Avenues is another important connector for cyclists.
Lamar goes clear to the Clear Creek Trail, and then on the other end it goes to 72nd. So that's a significant piece of north-south roadway.
The city's attention to traffic planning has already earned it recognition by the League of American Bicyclists as a bike-friendly community and positions it as a leader for the future.
I think Arvada is going to be moving to the forefront of bicycling, and you'll start seeing more and more unique markings on the road as a result of that. And we just ask that everybody uses patience and good judgment and interacts well with the other folks.